Good evening. Also, let's start our classes today. So we're going to learn about cell references and range names. Okay. So what are cell references? A cell reference refers to a cell or a range of cells on a worksheet and can be used in a formula so that Microsoft Office Excel can find the value or data that you want to that formula to calculate. Okay, so we know about cell reference. We know how to refer to another cell, right? So we know how to refer a cell or a range of cells. So we'll see some examples on that. So in one or several formulas, you can use the cell reference to refer to data from one or more contiguous cells on the worksheet. Data contained in different areas of a worksheet. Data on other worksheets in the same workbook. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So there are various ways we can refer to a cell. So to get data from another cell, right? Either we can use the formula like this. Okay, so we can use we can give the cell reference directly. So we can refer to the cell C2. We can refer to the cells A1 to F4. Okay, so the value is in all the cells, but you must press Control Shift Enter after you type in the formula. This function doesn't work in Excel for the web. Okay, assert so the cells named assert and liability. Okay, so we can name some cells and we can refer to the cell. So we can we can add a name to a particular cell and we can use a reference instead of you having the default cell reference. We can add a name to a cells. Okay, and we can use named ranges. Okay, so we can add some names for certain ranges. So let's say A1 to A5, right? That's a range. Okay, so instead of using the A1 to A5, we can add a name saying something range 1 or something like that. So we can give some names for ranges and we can use it. And to refer to from another sheet, right? We can use the sheet name exclamation mark and the cell reference. Okay, so these are various examples and we'll see how to do that by in practice. Okay, so let's see some examples. C2, right? So as you guys know, right, we use cell reference. So let's say there is a cell, right? There is a cell 54 and I want to copy the cell value in this particular cell. Okay, so I want to copy A1 into D2. What do we do? So we give the cell reference. We use the cell reference, right? Is equal to A1. So now the contents of cell is copied into D2. So even if you change this here, right, the value changes. So this is called a cell reference. So this is how we refer uh, this is how we refer a value from one cell to another cell. Okay, so we'll see some examples. So A1 to F4. Let's say there are multiple cells. Okay, so let's say A1 to see in this particular example, right? Uh, we just took a single reference of a cell. Okay, so it refers to only one cell, but let's say I want to find the addition of all these cells. Okay, so what do? You do the range reference. Okay, is equal to sum of. So now you have to select the range, right? So can someone tell me how to do the addition of all these cells? So what you do is you have to give the range. Okay, so the range is A1 to A7. A1 to A7. So this is how you add the addition. I mean, this is how you refer to a multiple cells. Okay, the range of cells. So the range is from A1 to A7. So for this cell, it's just A1. Okay, so this is the difference between a cell reference and a range reference. Okay, uh, so these examples we'll look at later. Okay, so there are two types of cell references. Okay, there are two types of cell references: relative and absolute. So relative and absolute reference behave differently when copied and filled to other cells. Okay. Uh, Relative reference change when a formula to is copied to another cell. Absolute reference, on the other hand, remain constant no matter why they are copied. Okay. So let's see some examples. Relative reference, right? While default all the cell reference or relative references, when copied across multiple cells, they change based on the relative position of rows and columns. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we are trying to find the total of a particular item. Okay, so there are different items like vegetables, beef, chicken, lemonade, and all these things. We have the unit price and the quantity. Okay, so what we do is we have a formula saying unit price into quantity is total. Okay, so relative reference are especially okay, so let's see this example. Let's try to practice it. Okay. Uh, so yeah, let's say we have an item and we have the price. Okay, so we want to find the total. Okay, this is quantity. So we have item, let's say tomato, carrot, let's say, so brinjal. Okay, so let's say we have we bought 3 kgs of tomato and the price is $6. Carrot, let's say we bought two, price is $8, $9, and brinjal, let's say we bought 4 kgs and the price is $10. Okay, so what is the calculation for total price? Can someone tell me? Is equal to, so can someone tell me the formula? Okay,
Equal
yeah, tell me. I mean,
sum
no, uh, how do you do it? So 3 into 6, right?
yeah,
It's kgs. Okay, so we are buying 3 kgs of tomato and the price per kg is 6 kilos. Okay, so the total cost will be 18 kgs, right? So
yeah.
it should be B2 star
Probability style.
C2, right? Okay.
Right.
So what about so what we're trying to do is now is calculate the price for other items also. Okay, so now we calculated the price for tomato. Now we have to calculate the reference for all these things. What we do, you remember, right? What we do is we used to use the fill handle and drag the formula.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what happens is it copies the formula to other references. But if you see the formula, right, you can see the
Yes, sir.
reference changes. It is B2 here, but
Yeah.
in the next cell, right, it is B3,
D
and in the next cell it is B4 and
before
C4. Okay, so that is called a
C4.
relative
Yeah.
reference. So Excel will automatically calculate the Excel will automatically calculate the, I mean, Excel will automatically change the reference of the next formula. So when you copy, right, it changes the reference of the formula. So that is called a relative reference. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now there is another thing. So let's say we introduce another factor called sales tax. Okay. So sales tax, let's say it's 10%. Okay. So now the quantity changes. Okay. So what we can do is let's introduce. Okay. So now the formula changes. Okay. So what we can do is we can refer to H this itself. H1 into H1 divided by 100, I guess. Okay. Okay. So let's give it in percentage itself. So see, let's say 10%. Okay. I give the formula directly 0.1. Okay. And I change it here. Okay. So 0.1 is 10%, right? In formula. So the total becomes 1.8. Sorry. Okay. So it should be here, right? So the formula will change here. What I'm going to do is price is equal to, see, now we are calculating the tax for this particular item we bought, and then we have to do it. So the tax will be the price into some percentage, right? It's 0.1 percentage. Okay. So the tax will be 1.8 and the total will be 6 into 3, 18 plus. So B3 into C3, B2 into C2 plus D2. So this is the price including the tax, right? So we have the tax column. So the price is 6 into 3, 18. 18 plus 1.8 is 19.8. Okay. So now if I drag the formula down, right? So what happened? Is a tax properly calculated? Oh, you didn't copy the formula here. So see, when I copy the formula, what happens? So the cell reference changes, right? But we are the tax is in only one cell. But when you drag and copy the formula, the cell reference changes from H1 to H2, which shouldn't happen, right? Should it happen? It should refer to the H1 only, right? But it changed. So for these cases, right, we need to have an absolute reference. Okay. So even when you copy the formula, the reference should not change. So what can we do for that is we should use absolute reference. So we should use $1 and $H1. Okay. So now if you drag the formula down, right, the cell reference doesn't change. So if you see here, right, it always refers to this particular cell. So this is called absolute reference. So you have to refer to the particular cell, and if you don't want the formula to be changed for the particular when the formula is copied, right, you can go for absolute reference like this. Okay. So this is called absolute reference. And now you can this will be helpful when you have this in these kind of scenarios. Okay, so this you guys got it. Is it clear how to do absolute reference and what is the difference between absolute reference and a relative reference? You guys are clear? Is doubts in the கேட்கலாம்? So you guys are clear, huh? Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we saw examples of absolute reference and these relative reference, right? So to create and copy a formula using relative references, okay. So instead of creating a new formula, we can create a single formula in cell D4 and then copy it to the other rows. We'll use relative reference, so the formula calculates the total for each item correctly. So all you have to do is you have to copy the formula to all other rows, okay, using the fill handle option. And you can so Excel will automatically fill in the relative references automatically, so that the appropriate value is calculated for each of the records. Okay, so this is called a relative reference. And to create relative reference, yeah. So so we saw these examples first time, right? So we have to type the formula for the first record alone, and you have to use the fill handle and drag it up to the bottom to uh, copy the formula to the to the subsequent rows. Okay, so here Excel uses a relative reference, and the formula will be calculated automatically. Okay, so unlike absolute references, okay, unlike relative reference, absolute reference do not change when copied or filled. You can use an absolute reference to keep a row or column constant. Okay, so what we did is with the example, we kept the row and the column constant using the dollar symbol. Okay, but you can just keep, instead of keeping the column and row both constant, we can keep the row alone constant or the column alone constant. Okay, so absolute reference, you can use absolute reference to keep a row or column constant. And absolute reference is designated in a formula by the addition of dollar sign before the column and row. If it precedes the column or row, it's known as a mixed reference. Okay, so this is the example we saw, right? We calculated the sales tax in this particular column where the tax rate is given here. Okay, and then we use the addition, find the total calculated. So in this example below, we are using the cell E2 as a cell E2 which contains the tax rate to calculate the sales tax for each item in column D. To make sure that the reference to the tax rate stays constant, even when the formula is copied and filled to the other cells, we need to make cell E2 an absolute reference. So we have made the particular cell as $E and $2. So you can see the difference, right? You can for other references we just use B4 and C4, but for the absolute reference we use $E and $2. So we use the dollar symbol in front to make sure that the reference doesn't change when you copy it to the subsequent rows using the fill handle option. Okay. Select the cell that will contain the formula in our example, we'll select cell D4. Enter the formula to calculate the desired value. In our cell, we'll type B4 into C4 into E2 into $2, making E2 as an absolute reference. So to create and copy a formula using absolute references, press enter on a keyboard. The formula will calculate and the result will display in the cell. Locate the fill handle in the bottom right corner of the desired cell. In our example, we'll locate the fill handle D4. Click and drag, and the fill handle option. Click and handle over the cells you want to fill. Okay, so once you drag it right from this cell to this cell, the formula will be copied appropriately. Release the mouse and the formula will be copied to the selected cells with an absolute reference, and the values will be calculated in each cell. Okay. So I hope you guys are clear on absolute reference, right? Any doubts, or you guys want me to tell you again? Okay. Yeah. So I hope you guys are clear on absolute reference. Maybe I'll do another example on absolute reference. Let's see. Okay. So
Clear, sir.
okay. Let's do this example. So let's say we have some movies, and we have the tickets sold. Okay. Uh, and now we'll find the price of the number of tickets sold. Okay. So what now? Uh, Here. Okay. So the price of the ticket is common for all the movies, and we have the total amount, total gross. So the total amount of tickets sold. Okay. And now we can find the number of tickets sold. So let's do this. So let's say the ticket price is constant. Okay. So ticket price, a single ticket is always let's say $10. And let's say we have movies and the total collection of movies. Okay. Total collection means the total profit or total sales. Okay. And now we have to find the uh, number of tickets sold. So we have these data. Okay. So we have the name of the films. Uh, so we have the name of the films, and we have the total total collection. Okay. So let's say we have 800 crores or something. Okay. So of tickets sold, the total tickets sold is like this. Okay. So let's say this is all dollars. So can someone tell me how to format it to dollars? I want to display HGD before. So we have learned this the previous classes. Can someone tell me? So I want to do a formatting on these cells. Vijayaravan,
Right, please, sir.
how do you do? So go to format cells and go to currency
So, sir,
and
choose
select
SG.
SGD. So yeah, so SGD is here. Okay, let's just okay. SGD is here. That's it. So now you can see the formatting done. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to find the total collection and number of tickets sold. So what is the formula to find the number of tickets? Okay. So total collection divided by the ticket price, right? Correct, right? So what I'm going to do is I have to divide B2 by sorry B4 by ticket price. So single ticket price is G1, right? So the number of tickets sold is 80,000. Okay. So let's say if I copy this thing, right? What happens? What happens? So what is the issue now? Can somebody tell me how to correct this issue? It says division by 0 is not possible. So what happened here? What is wrong here in this formula? We try to copy the formula to the other cells. Okay, so we want to calculate the number of tickets sold. So we have
different
to
amount, sir. Different amount. That's why to B5 to the one B5 B5 to G1. That is the cost. So
can you
different
give
amounts, sir. The one the SGD the different amount. So you cannot.
no the issue here is right. We are
Yes.
referring to this cell, okay? But if I copy the cell at the bottom, right, what
G.
happens is it increases the G2. There is no value
Yes.
in G2, right?
Yeah.
So what we should have done is we should have used absolute reference for this cell. So when you copy it, right, it increases the G2 value. So if you do $2 $G $2, right? Sorry,
Yes.
$G $1. So we are making this as an absolute reference, okay? So now if you copy the formula, right, we got the cell. I mean, we got the number of tickets sold here. See here, see $G $1 is a constant. It always refers to the appropriate cell, okay? So that was the this is how we do an absolute reference. So this is how we use an absolute reference. So the ticket price we have to always use this
Yes.
cell reference. So now you guys got it. What is an absolute reference? So Angam, can you tell me difference between absolute references and cell reference?
Sir, references.
What are the two? So we learned about two different types of references, right? Absolute reference and relative reference. Okay, so absolute reference is relative reference is this one. Okay, so without the dollar symbol, but absolute reference here is with the dollar symbol like this. Okay, and the advantage of is when you drag down, right, you can see the formula here. The relative reference always changes. Okay, see here it changes the cell value of based on this copied, but the absolute reference value never changes. Okay, so this is called an absolute reference. So you guys got it because I'm going to give you an exercise on this. Okay, so you should be knowing this. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. So let's see another example. How to refer to from a cell to from a different worksheet. Okay. So now the examples we saw, right? We always refer to the same sheet. Okay. Let's say I have an another sheet, but I want to refer to this ticket price here. You got it right. Let's say I am Spider-Man movie. Okay, movie, and let's say we have tickets sold and total earnings. Okay, so Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Okay, so these are the movies, and the number of tickets sold is something like this. Okay, so they have sold these many tickets. Okay, so now I want to find the total earnings. Okay, so but the cell, this total price per ticket value is here, right? In this cell sheet 3. So what I have to do is I have to multiply the uh, B2 into the reference is here, right? You guys got it. So I have to multiply B2 into sheet 3.
G2.
G2.
Sheet 3 dollar symbol. Where it is? G1, I guess, right?
G1.
See,
Yes.
G1. So now if you copy the formula, right, it again comes to 0. What is the issue here? Someone tell me. See, you guys got the issue. So I have referred to this cell. Okay. So I have what is the formula? So actually what I did is I've mentioned the sheet name. So we are in sheet 4 and we are referring to a value in sheet 3. Okay. So what I did is I gave the sheet 3, I mean the sheet name, followed by the exclamatory mark, and I've given this cell reference. Okay. So now we got the total earnings for this cell. Okay. Let's keep it simple. Let's say they have sold these number of tickets. Okay. So 12 into 10 to 120 tickets. 13 into 10 is 0. 13 into 10, what is it? It should be 130, right? Because the price of ticket is $110 only. So if we sold 10 to 30 tickets, we should get 130 here. Why didn't we get the appropriate value here? Why didn't we get 130 here? We just copy the formula, right? But what is the issue here? Someone tell me. We didn't use absolute
Issue for
reference.
the dollars value, sir.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so we didn't use absolute reference here. So can you tell me what to do here? How should I change it?
Dollar symbol and G letters are the one.
Okay, so correct.
G1 SG dollars.
Okay, so
Yes.
I've changed the dollar symbol. Okay, so now let's say now if I copy the formula, right, I use a fill handle, right? Perfect, right? So this is how you do cell reference. Okay, so you can do cell reference for another sheet or use absolute reference also. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you do cell reference, absolute reference, uh, refer to another sheet and all these things. Okay, so yeah, to reference across worksheets. Okay, so we just learned it how to do it. So locate and select the cell where you want the value to appear. In our example, we select cell C4. Okay, type the equals sign, the sheet name followed by the exclamation point and the cell address in our cell. So in this example, right, the sheet name is menu order. Okay, so they've changed the sheet name. So let's say if I change the sheet name here, right? If I change it to movie, okay. Can someone tell me now? Okay. So automatically changed. See here, we didn't have to change that automatically. So the sheet name automatically changed by the Excel sheet. So this is how you refer the sheet. Okay. So let's say if you change the sheet name again, right? If you change to movie names, okay. Excel will automatically change the sheet name to movie names. Okay. So this is how you do sheet reference. Press enter on your keyboard. The value of the reference cell will appear. Now, if the value of the cell E4 that it changes on the menu order worksheet, it will be updated automatically on the catering invoice worksheet. Okay. So error message: if you enter a worksheet name incorrectly, the reference error will appear in the cell. Okay. So in our example, we have mistyped the name of the worksheet. Okay. The error bit go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a improper name for the sheet. Okay, so now I've given movie alone. But the sheet name is, see, we got the reference error because the sheet name was changed and it was not correct. Okay, so the sheet name is movie's name here. but what we typed here is movie, right? So what we have to do is we have to give the appropriate name for the sheet. Okay, so we have to give names. So since there is a space, we are going to give the this symbol. Okay, so now it is corrected automatically back to the original form again, right? So this is how you this is what happens when you give the wrong sheet name. So like this, if you give the sheet name wrong, right, you will get the reference error. Okay, so then you have to correct it appropriately. Invalid cell reference error. Okay, so the cell reference is not proper because the sheet name is wrong. So if you change it back to the original name, right, uh, so now the cell reference error is gone. Okay, so in our example we missing. Okay, so we saw these examples. Okay, where is the exercise? Okay, I got you guys do this exercise. Okay, I'll give you 15 minutes. Okay, so it's now 7:20. I'll give you another 10 minutes. You can try to do this example. Okay, let's say you add the hours, number of hours work, what is the type of work he did, and you refer to this particular cell. So let's say for 1 hour, right, his charge is $30. Now we have to calculate the total. I mean, total you have to calculate. So you have to multiply 3 into 30, which is 90. 1 into 30 is 30. So similarly, you have to do absolute reference based on this cell. Okay. So I'll give you another 10 minutes and you guys can try it and let me know. Okay. So how many have laptops? Angavin and Vijay Raghavan, you have laptops, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I'll give you 10 minutes, guys. You just try it and let me know. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can call me and let me know. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so now let's move on to the next topic. We will learn something called named ranges. Okay, so instead of using cell reference such as A1, right, or A1 to A10, you can simply use a name that you assign to it. Okay, so instead of giving A1 to A10, we can give some names to it. Okay, let's say here, right, date. We can give the name as date. Okay, so in that formula, right, instead of sum of A1 to A10, we can use sum of date. Okay, so sum of total or something like that. So in this data set, if you have to refer the range that is date, you will have to use A2 to A1 in formula. Similarly, for sales rep, can use sales. You will have the use B2 to B1 and C1 to C11. Okay, so use names instead of cell references. When you create name ranges in Excel, you can use these names instead of the cell references. For example, you can use sum of sales instead of sum of C2 to C11 for the above data. Have a look at the formulas listed below. Instead of using cell references, I've used the name ranges. Okay, so I've used count of sales. Instead of giving A2 to A1, I've given sales. Okay, so instead of sum of all the sales done by Tom, sales rep, I've given sales rep and sales. I'm not using the ranges. Okay, so We have three ways to use ranges. Okay, using define name, use the name box, use create from selection box. Okay, so let's see first what is the name range. First, let's try to create a name range for a particular cell. Okay, so if you see the cell, right, there are what is the cell range here? What is the cell range? Okay, let's see. Let's say if I want to add these three records, right? What should I give? What is the cell range I should give? Sum of total learnings. What is it? Sum of C2 to C4. Okay. So you can see the formula here, right? C2 to C4. What if I want to give a name for this range? Okay. So instead of using the symbol, right? C2 to C4, I can use something like a named range. Okay. So there's a range and I'm trying to give a name for it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is select this one, go to data formula, go to formulas, and there is a define name option, right? In the define names. Okay. So go here and click the first option. Okay. So define name. Okay. So I'm going to give the name total learnings for this range. Okay. So click OK. So in this cell, right, if I want to find the sum of the total learnings, what should I give? See, sum of total learnings. We define that name range, right? So what will be the answer for this one? 400. See the difference between C2 and C4. Instead of giving C2, see these. So this is the normal way to do it. Okay. So normal way of doing it. Okay. But I'm here using named ranges. And we got the same answer here. See the total learnings, right? It refers to this range. And if you see this range, right, it also refers to the same thing. But the way we address it is different, right? So here we have given a range, we have given a name for the particular range. Okay. So for for A1 to C2 to C7, we have given a name called total learnings, and we have used that name for to add that thing. Okay. So if you want to see all the ranges we have created, we can go here, formulas. You can go here. You can see apply names, right? You can see all the names you have created. Okay. So this is I created earlier. So total range is one thing. So this is how we do it. So let's say if I want to calculate the average, right? Average sales, right? So I can give sum of AVG. So average of total earnings, right? So we got the average now. So 120 plus 130 plus 150 plus this thing. Okay. So what we use a name range, total earnings. So if you what you do to calculate the average, you should usually give average equal to this range, right? So you give C2 to C4. So this is a normal way to do it, and this is the named range. Okay. So you see the difference, right? What is the normal range in the named range? See these two formulas. So this cell, right? C2 to C4, but we have used the total earnings range. So the range is nothing but C2 to C4. Okay, so that's how you use a name range. So this is one way to create a name range. Okay, so let's see the other ways to create a named range. Okay, so we use the first method to create the name range. Use define name. use the name box. Okay, so let's see that. Method one. Let's see that method one. So here are the steps to create a name range in Excel define. Okay, so first you have to select the range you want to create a name range. So in this example, they have chosen off from B2 to B11. And go to formulas, go to define name. And in the name dialog box, type the name you wish to assign to the selected rate range. You can receive the scope of the entire workbook as a specific worksheet if you select a particular select. So there is no limit to select the name range. So even if you want to select the entire worksheet, right, you can do it. Okay. And see, first cell we are given the sales rep, the name for a new name, new name. Okay, so the name range. So we are given sales rep, and we are given the scope in which workbook it will be applicable. Okay, so it will be applicable for the default, it will be applicable for the whole worksheet, and refers to which cells. Here they are given the cell range. Okay, cell refers to this these cells. Let's create another thing. Okay, so number of, let's say if, I want to create a name range for the total tickets sold. So can someone tell me how to do it? First I selected this range, then go to define name, click on it. Now by default it has given us a name. Okay, so even if you want, you can change the name, sold tickets. Okay, so you're given a name for this range. Okay, and scope is if you can select for the whole so the name range where it appears. Okay, so depends on the if it's applicable only for the current worksheet or the whole workbook. Let's say whole workbook. Okay, so now you can see the range. So sheet 4, they have given sheet 4. So in this sheet 4, absolute reference B2 to B4. So from this cell to this cell, we have created a name range. Okay. Any doubts in this? How to create a name range? You guys see it, right? You have any doubts in this? So these are the things. So I have to give the name. So to remember this, I'm going to use this name somewhere else. Okay. So I've given the name. I've given the scope of this name range, and we have defined the cells here. So all we can do it like something like this. Okay. So click OK. So now if I want to find the total number of tickets sold, how do I do it? Can someone tell me? Let's say total number of tickets sold using a name range. So can someone tell me how to do it? Is equal to sum of what? Sold tickets. Okay, so this is the name range we created, right? So this is the name of the range we created. Okay, so
B2.
சொல்லுங்க.
Sum of B2 in the B2.
Okay, B2. B2 to
B4.
Okay, B4.
To B4.
Okay. So இதுல என்ன ஆன்சர் வந்துச்சு? 40 வந்துச்சு. Okay, so name range நான் யூஸ் பண்ணனும்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்களேன். Sum of sold tickets னு நேம் ரேஞ்ச் நம்ம கிரியேட் பண்ணோம். கரெக்ட், ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? see sold name நம்ம இதுக்கு வந்து நம்ம ரேஞ்ச் கிரியேட் ஒரு பேர் கொடுத்திருந்தோம் இந்த ரேஞ்சுக்கு. ஓகே, B2 to B4 க்கு. அப்போ இதுல என்ன ரிசல்ட் வரும்? அதே ரிசல்ட் தான் வரும். புரியுதா? நம்ம வந்து இந்த ரேஞ்சுக்கு வந்து ஒரு பேர் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஒன்றும் இல்லை, B2 to B4 வந்து நம்ம அப்படி டைப் பண்ண கஷ்டமா இருக்குதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், அதுக்கு ஒரு நேம் கொடுத்துறோம். அதான் நம்ம பண்ணியிருந்தோம். கரெக்டா? இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸோ இந்த டிஃபைன் நேம்ல போயிட்டு டிஃபைன் நேம்ல போனீங்கன்னா ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல இருந்து வேணா டைப் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ இதுக்கு ஒரு இன்னொரு இது வந்து செலக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு டிஃபைன் நேம் கொடுக்குறோம். டிஃபைன் நேம் கொடுத்துட்டு இங்க பாருங்க, இந்த ஷீட்ல பாருங்க, இது ஈக்குவல் டு B2 to B4. ஸோ இந்த ஷீட்ல இதை ரெஃபர் பண்றோம். அடுத்து ஏதோ ஒரு பேர் கொடுக்குறோம், என்ன கொடுக்குறோம், ரூபின்னு கொடுக்குறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன் பேரு. கிளிக் ஓகே. ஸோ நவ் இஃப் ஐ வாண்ட் டு ஃபைண்ட் த டோட்டல், ரைட், சம் ஆஃப் ரூபி, கரெக்டா? சம் ஆஃப் ரூபின்னு கொடுத்தா என்ன ரிசல்ட் வரும்? வாட் இஸ் ஜீரோன்னு வருது. ஏன்னா வந்து அது ஷீட் எல்லாமே நம்ம கொடுக்குறோம். ஓகே, இது நம்ம செலக்ட் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம ஷீட் நேம்லாம் கொடுக்கணும். அப்பனா எப்படி டிஃபைன் பண்ணணும்? டிஃபைன் நேம், லெட்ஸ் சே இதை அழிச்சிடுறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். இப்போ வந்து இந்த செல்லை ரெஃபர் பண்ணணும். அப்படின்னா என்ன பண்ணணும்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஷீட் நேம் கொடுக்கணும். ஷீட் 4. அடுத்து என்னது? ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் யூ ஹேவ் டு கிவ் தி எக்ஸ்கிளமேஷன் மார்க், ரைட்? எக்ஸ்கிளமேஷன் மார்க். And then you have to give it the absolute reference of the range. Okay, absolute reference எப்படி கொடுப்பீங்க? டாலர்
symbol B2, sorry, B
$B
dollar symbol again 2.
Very good. Next. Range, there is a symbol, right? Colon symbol, right?
Yes.
Then
symbol dollar symbol B.
Okay.
Dollar symbol 4.
Dollar symbol 4. Very good. Okay, so now we are given the name range. Okay, so click OK. What is the name we gave? So we didn't name. I didn't. Ticket sold, I think. Okay, so sum of,
yes,
I think ticket sold, right? So this is the name that was given. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so now we got 40. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, this is called a name range. So nothing, the name range is nothing but a range, but it has a specific name. We have assigned a specific name so that we can refer it anywhere else. Okay, so even if you want to show this here, right, sum of tickets sold, right? See, we don't have to write complex things, right? The ticket sold name range applies here also, because when we created the name range, right, we gave all the sheet names and all these things also, right? You remember? So if I create the name range, right, so we gave the sheet name also, so that the sheet name, all these things are also here, so that's the reason we are able to refer the name range here also. So sum of, let's say, average of, right, average of tickets sold. If you see this name range, right, we got the proper value average. So if you see this range, right, it will has all the values. It has all the data to refer to the appropriate value. So this is called a name range. Okay, so you guys are clear on name range. So if you are not still clear, I can explain it again. Okay, so how about Vijay Raghavan? You understood?
yes sir, yes sir.
How about others? You guys are very silent.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Angavan, you got it?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is one way to create a name range. Okay, so there are totally three different ways to create a name range. Okay, so we'll see another way of creating the name range. So method 2, use the name box. Select the range you want, for which you want to create a name. Do not select headers. Go to the name box on the left of the formula bar and type the name of which you want to create a name range. Note that the name created here will be available for the entire workbook. If you wish to restrict to worksheet, use method 1. Okay, so let's see. So let's say I don't want to create the name range from this formula. Let's say let's create a name for the name range for these cells. Okay. Okay. select this one, and you can create a name called Robert. Okay, so Robert range or something like this. Okay, so now if you want to find the total number of sales, right? Total number of all these values. So what is the formula? So sum of Robert range. Okay, so this contains all the values. So you can see, right? It's going to give the sum of all the values. So which is nothing but sum of okay, sum of Robert range. Okay, so this is second way of creating the name range. Okay, so from this bar we can create a name range. If you want to select here, right? So you can create you can change the name here if you want. So let's say sales range. Okay, sales, can give sales range. And now the new thing is created. So sum of sales range, right? Okay. Yeah, sales range is here. So if you want to refer to this thing, right? So sales range. So that's it. This is how you create a new sales range. I mean, new definition name range. Okay. So this method is clear for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
So okay, so we have learned the second method to create a name range. So let's see the third method. Okay. Uh, Method 3, using create from selection option. If you want to quickly create three name ranges, date, sales, and rep, then you can use the method below. Select the entire data set, including the headers. Go to formulas, create from selection, Control Shift F3. It will open the create names from selection dialog box. If the create name selection dialog box, in the create names from selection dialog, check the options where you have the headers in this case. So top row, we have headers, right? So we are choosing the top row. If you have headers at the bottom left or top row, you can choose both. Similarly, if your data is arranged in the headers or in the left column only, then you can only check your column. This will create the three name ranges, okay? So yeah, let's see how to do this thing, okay? Let's say movie uh, movie tickets price, okay? So these are the movie name. So movie, let me create a new Excel. So movie uh, tickets price. So let's say we have the movie name. Movie name is let's say Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Okay, so tickets sold is let's say 45, 30, and 60. And the price is $7, $3, and $9. Okay, so we learned how to create name ranges separately, right? Let's say I want to create a name range, three name ranges. Okay, how do you do it at a single? I mean, we can do it easily using this thing. Okay, let's say we want to create three name ranges, right? I select this and I go to insert, sorry, formulas. There's an option called create from selection. Okay, so click on it, create names from values. So the top row is the name range name. Okay, so now we are going to create three name ranges: movies, tickets, and price, and based on the header values here. Okay, so click OK. Now if you see a definition, right, you can see three name ranges: movie, price, and tickets based on the header name. So Excel automatically created all the sheets. Okay, so if you want to use those references, right, you can use it here. So if you want to find the total tickets sold is equal to sum of, what is the name range? Total tickets sold. Can you tell me? The name range name is tickets, right? Select this. That's it. So if you want to find the total price, can somebody tell the total price? How to find the total price? Using a name range. Is equal to sum of
Some price.
very good. So there is an already name created, right? So this is how you create a use a named named range. Okay, so you can see all the name ranges here. So if you go to apply names, right, you can see the all the name ranges here. Okay, and let's see how to edit a name range, I guess. So getting the names of all the name ranges. Here are the steps to get a list of all the name ranges you created. Go to the formulas tab, define name group, click on paste in formula, click on paste names. Okay, this will give you a list of name ranges in that workbook. To use the name range, double click. So go to use in formula, paste names, paste list. Use name, paste names, paste list. See, it has all the name ranges formula here. So sheet one, $A2 to A4. So $A1, A2 to A4. Price, the range is $C to D4. So these are the values that has appeared. So this is just to use in formula. So if you can use a formula here, let's say uh, that's it. So this is how you find the existing name range values. Okay, and to edit the name ranges in Excel, if you have already created name range, you can edit the following steps. Go to the formulas tab, click on name range manager dialog box, and the name range dialog box will list all the name ranges. Double click on the name range that you want to edit. Okay, so let's see an example for this. So go to formulas. There is something called name range manager. Go to name range manager, so you can see the all the cell of this is. Let's say I'm adding another movie, say Fast and Furious. Okay, so now they have sold 80 tickets and the price is $12. So what should happen? The number of tickets sold should increase, right? We have to find all the tickets, right? Is that correct? Correct, right? So what you have to do, we have to edit the name range. So the name range is applies only to these cells, right? So what you can do is go to the name range manager, go to the go to this thing, right? Double click on it. Now you can edit the thing. Okay, so let's say to A5. So price, right? You can number of tickets sold. So B5. Now you can see if I click B5, right? That number of tickets sold will change here. So 135.80 will create. Okay, so click OK, close. See, it has increased. Okay, so the number of, but still the price range is not changed. So 7 plus 3 plus 9 is 19. Okay, so 19 plus 12 is 31. So we should get the 31 answer, 31 here, but we are not getting it. So what we have to do is we have to edit the price name range. So price name range only consists of these three values, but we have to include the 12 also, right? So for this, what you have to do is go to name range manager, go to the price thing, double click on it, change the reference, absolute reference to C5, I guess. Okay. So now if I close it, right, 19 will change to 31. Close 31. That's it. So this is how you do a name range editing. Okay. So how to edit the name ranges? So edit the dialog box. You can change the name if you want to change the name also. You can change. If you want to change the range of cells, you can change it here. Okay. So these are some shortcuts that you can use. Okay. So to get list of all the name ranges, you can press F3. Create a new range. Control F3. Number of name ranges from selection. Control Shift F3. So these are all shortcuts to create name ranges. So we learned three types, right? For all the types, we have shortcuts to create the name ranges. So that's it for guys today. So you guys do this homework, okay? So there is a holiday spending, okay? So we have spent so much money on all these people, our mom, dad, Bob, Jane, and Anita, okay? So we have spent $300, and you have to calculate the total amount in rupees and Malaysian ringgits. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is you have to get the currency rate from the cell. So you have to use you have to use a fill handle. You have to use the absolute reference, and you have to calculate all these values. Okay. So you have to calculate the total in INR, total in Malaysian ringgit. Okay. So this will be a homework, guys. So that's it for today's class. Thank you for attending. Okay.